Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another weekly challenge. This time it's all about not caring what people think of us.
Embarrassment comes from trying to control how other people perceive you. So instead of just showing the world your nerdy hobby, say that you collect Beanie Babies, you go, I don't want people to think I'm a dweeb, and pretend that you don't have one. The same process plays out with hobbies as it does with mistakes that we've made, areas in which we're weak, and areas in which we might get publicly rejected. We hide what we don't want people to know about us. We conform to what other people would like us to be.
It is a super important yet so scary topic, or actually it's a mindset. It's something we need to embrace. Daring to be vulnerable, daring to put our true self out there.
Cultivating authenticity, letting go of what people think. That's the first one. Let's talk about that.
It's so hard. I thought doing this research, I thought going into it, there were authentic people and inauthentic people. Mm-hmm. I did not find any evidence of that at all. What I found is authenticity is a practice, and you choose it every day, sometimes every hour of every day. And it's a practice. It's not, I just wake up and, hey, I'm authentic. It's that when you walk into a meeting, you have to make the choice. Am I going to show up and let myself be seen? Am I going to raise my hand and say, wow, y'all look super excited. I don't know what in the hell you're talking about. I'm so lost. That's a choice.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And to make that authentic choice, you got to let go.
This was actually something I did last week to some extent, because I have realized recently that it's one thing to dare to do things in the external world, in the context where we meet new people.
Nice to meet you, Kim.
Nice to meet you too.
When it comes to the people that we already know, the ones that are in our social sphere, that's a whole different thing. That's where I have an issue with not putting my real self out there, because I'm invested in those people. They kind of know who I am. I have built up this idea of who I am, and I would just hate to tear that down, to maybe make people that like me now not like me because I'm really expressing who I truly am.
There are costs to being you, right? There's a cost for standing up to truth. Sometimes people might think of you badly. Sometimes you might get fired for that. Your spouse might actually leave you, and your girlfriend or boyfriend, they might break up with you if you actually are your authentic self. Flip side of this is that you don't need everyone to like you. And in fact, it's not even possible to make everyone like you, even if you do everything perfectly. So you have to just accept that certain people will not like you and that it doesn't really matter. In fact, your best strategy and success, chances at success in life, chances at fulfillment, and chances at the most people liking you is to be yourself. Because when you're yourself, your authentic self, you're magnetic. You're attractive. People want to be near you. Maybe not the same people that want to be near your fake self right now. So acknowledge that. I'm not saying that you can maintain everything in your life as it is and still be yourself. You might need to make some sacrifices. There might be some costs. You're going to come up with all sorts of reasons about why that's too costly for you. You're going to say, well, then my boss will say something bad. My job might be in danger. My relationship might be in danger. Something else might be in danger. What's more important to you? Is it more important for you to be getting those shallow things? Or is it more important for you to be self-expressive, to really be yourself, to really be fulfilled inside, and then to act from that and to live your life from that?
We need to really live our true core essence of who we are. That is when life really flowers. And that is just my observation from doing this. Last week was one of the best weeks I can't say in my life, but it's just something happened when I actively pushed myself in every social interaction I had, being myself, voicing my opinions, saying things that I think is funny, that maybe people wouldn't think was funny.
Spock, are there any signs of life down there? Well, let me check, Captain.
Being a bit more unfiltered. That was what I did, and it was just freaking amazing. So I need to continue down this path.
Michael Scott.
Josh Porter, high five.
So how do we do this?
So my suggestion is to bite the bullet on this one and be yourself despite the costs.
Instead of focusing on other people's perceptions and feeling embarrassed about what they may think, focus on whether or not you live up to your own values. For instance, if you do have a killer Beanie Baby collection, you obviously value something about it. Maybe it's the nostalgia, or maybe it was just a quirk that started when your grandma gave you one 20 years ago. Either way, if you value your own opinions, you won't try to hide the collection no matter what anyone else thinks of it. Or maybe you have a crush that you're thinking of asking out. Focusing on other people's perceptions of you would stop you dead in your tracks. After all, what if other people found out and laughed at you for getting turned down? But what if you instead focused on your own values, like doing the courageous thing or being honest even when it's uncomfortable? You would ask that person out. Now, maybe you'd go on a date, maybe you wouldn't, but either way, you'd have lived up to your own values. And no matter what anyone else said or did, you could feel proud of yourself. The point is that when you focus on living up to your own values, you never have to feel embarrassed again. It doesn't matter whether you trip up an escalator, get fired from a job, beat up in a fight, or blown off by a girl or a boy that you like. None of that stuff is pleasant, but you don't need the double penalty of being embarrassed by those things. Your attempts to live up to your values are all that matter, so take responsibility, try to correct course, and move on. And if you have traits that embarrass you, whether it's your looks, your height, your age, well, you can't control those things, and you can't live up to a value that you can't control. So even though you might not like something about yourself, own it. You'll immediately feel relieved when you accept yourself the way you are.
We are gonna, throughout our days, have this mindset of putting our real self out there. But we're gonna find at least one special situation every day where we actively gonna say, okay, now I'm gonna step up, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna do this. And then we're gonna write that thing down. One sentence, I did this and it made me feel like this. Then we have like a little log of what we've done throughout the week, and that little focus will help you to focus on this topic, being your real true self. I'm also gonna put a little social twist on it because I've been listening to Susan Pinker, and she talks about how socializing is such a tremendously important factor if you want to live a long life.
You can be outgoing and cheerful, or you can be quiet and taciturn. These actually don't have an effect on how long you live. It is the objective fact of how many people live with you. How many people do you interact with day to day that really counts? Building in-person interaction into our cities, into our workplaces, into our agendas bolsters the immune system, sends feel-good hormones surging through the bloodstream and brain, and helps us live longer.
Oh, it hurts within when I hear that, because I've embraced this mantra of being an introvert. That's like, yeah, I'm an introvert. It's okay to be alone. But I've kind of realized that maybe I've done this because I'm just not comfortable with people, because I'm always putting out this version that other people would like to have. At least I think people will have this version of Alex, so I'm never really truly myself. I have started to question that. Maybe I have turned myself an introvert because I don't like the social interactions I've had as a result of not being myself. But what I felt last week, being my true self, is like, yeah, this is fun. I want to hang out with people. I want to express myself. So maybe I've just got it all wrong. Maybe I've just decided to be a lonely person. So that's why I'm also this week gonna meet up with at least 3 people outside my work context, because there I meet a lot of people, and I'm gonna express my true self actively. That's the weekly challenge. I hope you are excited. Just stand up for yourself, be yourself, and do that in an awesome way. An awesome way is just trying. You can't fail if you have tried. My name is Alexander Nilsson. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being awesome. See you in the next video. I'm gonna be posting some of this happenings in the week. Promise you that. Bye, guys.